everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the November 2020 monthly tarot reading for the sign of Gemini. Please keep in mind this is a general reading, so it may not apply to each and every one of you. However, you can take a look at this month's reading in regards to your Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus signs. So do take a look at your natal chart, see the corresponding zodiac signs and see which video's title resonates for you most. With regards to the spread, I'll be pulling I'll be pulling cards from the Intuitive Tarot using Celtic cross style. Then I'll get some clarification messages using the Waite deck. So, Gemini, let's see what's happening for you in the month of November. So just while I'm shuffling again, I do want to say a big thank you to everyone who's been liking, commenting, subscribing, and even sharing my videos. It means a lot to have your continued support, so thank you so much for being a part of the channel. If you'd like to have a personal reading with myself, you can find the information in the description box below. When it comes to the YouTube membership, fortunately, because I was sick last week, I haven't been able to complete the content that I wanted to for that yet, so I've had to push that forward along with pretty much everything else. So it's likely that that won't actually open until December now, okay? But there will be an announcement in advance, so I'll let you guys know when the Inner Sanctum is ready to be opened, for those of you who wish to become a member. So, just had a quick shuffle. I'll get the key energies laid out here as always and we'll go into it, and then after that we'll do the clarification. But I have to say, so far November is going to be November is a very juicy time for all of the signs, right? So a lot of these energies could already be playing out, but for those that haven't experienced this yet, this will be coming up this month. Obviously, it will depend on whether or not I am picking up on your energy. So if you feel like none of this applies, that's fine. Don't force it to your situation. Have a look at the video's titles with regards to your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and see which one feels more relevant to your situation. Okay. Alright, so we've got your key spread here, the key messages. So let's get into it. Gemini. So the first card you have in the position of your present circumstances, you have the Queen of Pentacles, okay? So this is earth energy, specifically Virgo. Sorry, I had to think about that. I believe that's specifically Virgo, or it could be Capricorn. I think it's Virgo, okay? So you could be having Virgo in your chart, right? Possibly, or you could have other earth placements significantly in your chart. But regardless, I feel like this is you basically knowing your value, knowing your worth, knowing what it is that you bring to the table when it comes to your work, your career, your day-to-day, right? I feel like you're very much aware of all that it is that you do in all aspects of your life. So you feel pretty good about yourself, right? Because you know that you're putting your best foot forward. You're always coming at, you know, all aspects of your life with the focus of bringing, you know, stability, order, you know, having everything, you know, neatly taken care of, right? Very Virgo energy. So I feel like you're feeling really good because you feel like you've been diligently, you know, completing certain tasks. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to get it out, but yeah, you feel very homey at this time and you're feeling very good about it because you feel like you finally got certain things under control and it's making you feel very good about it and very good within yourself, which is great. Crossing the situation in the position of your challenge is the Four of Wands. So you could have a very significant connection that you're already in. You may be in a long-term relationship, thinking about possibly settling down. But I feel like what's going to be the issue here for you, if you're thinking about taking the next stage of the relationship, going to the next level, i.e. living with the person or getting married, I feel like you want to know that because you have a set way of doing things and because you're used to doing things in the way in which you do it, you want to know that this person is also going to match that energy and it's going to take the same pleasure and enjoyment and enthusiasm in, you know, completing day-to-day tasks and not being lazy about it, right? So that's what I think you want to know. You want to know that this person is going to put in equal amount of effort into, you know, making the home pleasant for all of you, right? Your partner, if you have kids, things like that, right? So that's what I'm getting. I know that's very specific, but that's what I'm getting. That you want to know that this person is going to put the work in, you know, when it comes to taking care of house and home, as well as obviously putting work into the connection. When it comes to your recent past, you have the Seven of Swords. So I feel like there was something that you were trying to avoid dealing with head on, right? But either way, it was like no matter how much you tried to go around and skirt around the subject, right? You always end up having to face it. Either that, or it could be the person that you're dealing with was the one that was trying to skirt around a specific issue, right, within the connection, because they didn't want to have to deal with it anymore, right? But the reality is no matter how much they tried to skirt around the issue, try to avoid actually dealing with the issue head on, it would always end up meeting them anyway, right? So I feel like there has been a change when it comes to that. Now you're both more willing to, well, whoever was doing this is realizing that they can't do that anymore and they have to deal with the issue at hand, right, in order to resolve it. Now, when it comes to your near future, you have the Empress, okay? So this is Libra energy, also Taurus. So you could have those placements in your chart, or this could be your person. But I feel like this is actually you. I feel like you're moving from the Queen of Cups energy straight into the Empress, which is great, okay? So I do see you taking things to the next level with this person, and that's what that's what nicely moves you into this energy of, you know, becoming the Empress, right? Because you have all your needs fulfilled at that point, right? You have all your bases covered, and then the only thing that was left was to be able to give the very highest and best of yourself to a connection, which is what I see you doing, which is awesome. Now, when it comes to your feelings, you have the Magician in reverse, Virgo energy. Some of you definitely have Virgo placements. I feel like it's a case of you are not wanting to give power to the things that cause problems, right? That cause rifts within the connection. I feel like you've realized where perhaps maybe you're putting your time, attention, and focus and energy into the things that don't serve you rather than focusing on the things that do, right? So now I feel like you're trying to work through that so that you don't manifest from a place of fear and lack, right? Because you know that that's not going to give you what it is that you actually want. It's just going to create more issues, right? So you're dealing with that fear-based mentality, which is good. The energy that's crowning you at this time is the Knight of Cups in reverse. So yeah, I feel like you are not really, I mean, normally I feel like you're very loving, you're very much offering your love freely in the connection, but I feel like you've been pulling back a little bit, right? You're not giving as much of yourself over as you were because you're trying to assess if this person is going to step up and meet you, you know, in the middle, pretty much. And I feel like it's not in all aspects of the relationship that you feel like this person isn't meeting you halfway. It's just something specific. And I feel like it's something to do with the home, right? When it comes to your advice here, you have the Four of Cups in reverse. So the universe is telling you to maybe not do that, okay? Maybe not try and pull your energy back, because you can start to then go into this space of playing mind games unintentionally because you feel like, okay, well, this person's not doing this, so I'm going to do this, and then, you know, we'll see if they'll do this, but then if they do that, then I'm going to do, like, you don't want to get into that, okay? So it's saying don't retract the unconditional love that you have for this person. Give it freely, but just express what needs are not being met at this time and what it is that you're hoping for in order to progress moving forward, right? So it's just asking you to just be honest about your feelings and not, you know, try and find some, you know, some kind of an underhanded way to get this person to do what you want, just to be very honest about it. But still very much be in your energy, not letting it stop you from feeling and showing what it is that you feel and what it is you want to show at this time. When it comes to your external influences, so this can be in relation to places, people, environments, situations that you find yourself in, everything outside of yourself, you have the Ace of Swords, okay? So this is air energy. This is clarity. This is truth. This is making a positive decision, making the right choice, going with your gut on the subject, right? Knowing that you're making the right choice. And I feel like, yeah, this is you vocalizing what it is that you need and you're hoping from this person, right? What it is that you expect in order for things to move forward. And I feel like you're going to have a very open communication with this person. I feel like on both sides, it's going to be very, very honest and just, you know, it just seems very positive. I feel like the conversation is going to go very well, okay? Now, when it comes to your fears, however, you have the Lovers card. So this is your energy, Gemini. So again, I feel like while you're aware of your worth, when you go into your shadow aspect, there is that fear of not being good enough coming up, and the fear that you're going to be rejected, replaced by someone else, right? That's still coming up in your fears. So there's still some work that needs to be done around that. Although I do see you recognizing your value more now, which is good. When it comes to your hopes, you have the Page of Pentacles. So I think you're hoping that this person recognizes where they need to put more effort and energy into, you know, making this relationship work so you can take this next step. It's not that I don't feel like it's working. I feel like it is working. The relationship's going well. It's just there's something that you're not quite happy about, that you feel like this person needs to put more effort into. Like I said, something probably around the home. So you feel like, okay, now I know that this person is going to meet me halfway on all areas, in all things. I'm ready to take this next step with you, right? So that's what you're hoping for. And then finally, as a potential outcome, you have the Devil in reverse, which is great because that's you recognizing where perhaps you were feeding illusions in the past, you know, based in fear, that fear mindset that, you know, got you believing it's one way when it was actually another. And this is just you basically working out the kinks in a relationship, you know, wanting to, you know, transform certain dynamics as well, where perhaps there was some kind of karmic cycle that played out between you for some time. But I feel like you are closing that door, right? Which is excellent. Okay, it's looking really good so far, Gemini. So let's continue. Let's go into the clarifications now. But yeah, honestly, it's looking really good. So I feel like, you know, whatever issues that you guys have are being ironed out. That's how it appears so far. So we'll see what comes up when we clarify, right? But I think you having this discussion is going to be very, very important, right? I see very truthful communication between the two of you. And I feel like that's what's going to help overcome whatever issue you've experienced. Because you're both ready to take the initiative to take that step, right? Towards this higher level of commitment. So ultimately, that's what's propelling you forward and preventing you from, you know, just essentially not putting the work in and just letting things fall apart, right? So that's good. Okay. So, into the clarifications. Clarifying the Queen of Pentacles here in the position of your present circumstances. You have the Sun, Leo energy, Page of Cups, Water, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Three of Wands, Fire. So yeah, you've really turned a new leaf. I feel like you're starting to see your true worth. Like I said, your value. You're feeling very good about it. You're feeling very stable energetically. I feel like you've stabilized yourself a lot by doing a lot of purging and shadow work. There is a bit more to be done, of course. I could see that in your fears, but generally you're in a much better place than you were before. So you're just enjoying it. You're enjoying this positive energy that's coming in. You're enjoying the simple things in life that bring you a lot of happiness, right? I did get this, okay, that some of you are looking to perhaps settle down and have a family. And perhaps you just found out that you're pregnant. If that's the case, congratulations, because I see that whoever is pregnant at this time wanted this to happen and is very much happy about that, finding out that they're going to have a baby, right? So congratulations if that's you. For others of you, I feel like you're just feeling very good in yourself because you gave yourself the time to really deal with some issues that's been holding you back. A lot of self-care and self-love at this time. And you know that, you know, by doing that work, it's bringing a lot of positivity in. So that's really, really good. When it comes to the Four of Wands, crossing the situation in the position of your challenge, you have the Three of Cups, which is water energy. You have the Six of Cups in reverse, more water, and then you have the Three of Swords. So we have two threes here. So the numbers 333 and 333 could be very important for you at this time. That is the numbers of the Ascended Masters. That is self-mastery. That is that's very high vibrational. That means putting in the work, teamwork, working with the divine to ascend, right? And I feel like that's the journey you're on at this time. You're very much on the ascension trail, which is good. I feel like with the Three of Cups and the Three of Swords, with the Six of Cups in reverse, it's like it's telling you, like, listen, if you want this firm foundation, if you want to iron out any kinks in the relationship, right, you need to communicate what it is that you want, but also to not focus so much on the things that went wrong in the past or that are going wrong right now that perhaps, you know, have become an issue, and focus more on the good things. You know, feed the positive, starve the negative is essentially what it's saying. Because there is a lot to be grateful for, to be happy about in this connection. But I feel like perhaps at times you have a tendency to get very much caught up in what you perceive to be the negative aspects. So it's telling you to keep things in perspective, right? Because there is a lot to celebrate here, especially for those of you who are, you know, getting engaged, moving in together, having a baby, right? There's a lot to celebrate here. But I feel like what may be holding you back in some ways is still some of this healing that needs to take place over what you feel like isn't working in the relationship, okay? And that's where this communication is going to be very important. When it comes to your recent past, the Seven of Swords, right? You have the King of Swords, which is Aquarius energy. You could be dealing with an Aquarius. You have the Hanged Man, Pisces, so possibly a Pisces. And you have the Four of Cups, water energy. So yeah, it's telling you that, yeah, again, I feel like there's something you know, the universe is trying to show you, you know, that there is a lot of emotional abundance and stability in this connection. But sometimes you overlook it based on how you're feeling in that moment, right? Because, you know, you feel like the person you're dealing with doesn't necessarily, you know, take action in the way that you expect them to, or don't take, you know, doesn't deal with the issue head on and rectify the issue. And that gets you very much in kind of a bit of a defensive stance. And that gets you in this authoritarian energy where you feel like you have to, you know, instruct, explain, and direct them to do a certain thing, right? That they are not wanting to do, or what they're trying to avoid from doing, right? So it kind of puts you in this kind of authoritarian, you know, mode when it comes to your masculine. So I feel like the masculine ends up overextending, and that's where the imbalance comes in, right? And I'm talking about your energy, not you being male, right? So yeah, that's where imbalance started to creep in a little bit on your side as well, because they weren't wanting to deal with the issue head on. And you feel like you have to be like a bit of a dictator about it just to make sure it gets done or something gets addressed, right? But I feel like you guys are working on that, okay? Now, when it comes to your near future, the Empress here, you have the Queen of Cups in reverse, that's Cancer, and you have the Star, more Aquarius energy. So, yeah, significant. This is you getting everything you ever wanted, knowing that you manifested this. By you working on yourself, making positive changes within yourself, you end up attracting everything you could ever want, right? Because the Empress is the very embodiment of the divine feminine. The divine feminine is a creator. It creates life. It nurtures life. It plants seeds, right? Knowing it will grow into something very beautiful. And I feel like that's what you're doing. You're kind of tending to your seeds, knowing that it's going to bear fruit, right? But sometimes I feel like you have to watch what energy you put into the mix, because that's going to affect the outcome. Because with the Queen of Cups in reverse, I feel like this is emotional imbalance. So there is still, I feel like even though you're going to be very much balanced and in control and focusing on the positives, you know, putting your best intentions into the relationship, knowing that it's only going to breed even more unconditional love in the connection, I feel like you just have to watch your emotional outpours, your emotional response to certain things, right? When there's a chance that you could get triggered in the connection, or where there's a chance that you could end up having a disagreement, or something happens that upsets you, right? Because you have a tendency here to react very emotionally, right? And it's not that it's a bad thing to have emotions and to feel, but it's just the way in which you know, it's kind of like you go from 0 to 10 like straight away. You know, if something kind of happens that you don't like, or something that makes you doubt yourself or doubt the validity of the connection, right? So you just have to be mindful of that, so that doesn't trip you up, because otherwise I see you having everything you want from it. Okay, when it comes to your feelings, the Magician in reverse, you have the Five of Wands, which is fire energy, and you have the Ace of Swords. So you have the Ace of Swords again. So that tells me that, yeah, ultimately, you need to watch, you know, this confrontational energy, right? Because like I said, I see you getting into dictator mode when things don't go the way you expect, or when things seemingly go awry. I see a lot of, like, you know, conflict, you getting very defensive and argumentative. This is not me trying to put you down or make you feel bad. It's just, I'm just telling you realistically what I see here. I see you getting very, like, emotionally triggered. I see them getting emotionally triggered. I see you both being very much like that, right? And the reality is you have to address that, you know, rather than, you know, the both of you getting into your emotions and just reacting. You need to sit down and have mature, calm, you know, centered, you know, sort of grounded communication, right? Discussions, talk it out. Don't argue. That's what it's saying, you know. It's like saying just talk. You don't have to argue, because otherwise, if it always gets into this huge confrontation or disagreement, you're not going to manifest what it is that you want, right? Okay. When it comes to the energy crowning you at this time, if I can get the card, it's stuck on the table. Clarifying the Knight of Cups in reverse, you have the World card in reverse, you have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, the Eight of Wands in reverse, and the Chariot in reverse, a Cancer energy. So yeah, I feel like you are kind of on the, you're kind of hanging in the balance, right? Between breaking this cycle that you have with this person, where it just becomes, everything becomes an argument, right? And actually slipping back into that cycle. So what the problem is, when you retract and, like, when you pull back energetically and emotionally from this person, you are essentially putting out into the universe that you're ready to go back into that old cycle again, right? Where, you know, nothing ever changes. You don't, you know, the connection doesn't move into calmer waters where there's a real end to a karmic cycle and things start to progress in a very positive fashion. You know, and while, yes, the connection is still there, it doesn't move into the territory of, you know, marriage, kids. Well, for those of you already pregnant, obviously that's already a thing. But, you know, marriage, settling down, having happy ever after, right? Because you're not taking action or using the right language or the right energy to move towards that. So you have to be aware of that, okay? Because you are in danger of slipping into the same old cycle. But you have a real opportunity here to break it, okay? When it comes to your advice, the Four of Cups in reverse, you have the Page of Swords, air energy, the Wheel of Fortune in the upright, which is good, and you have the Justice card in reverse. So it's saying sometimes you need to take action, right? You need to lead the way to get things to move forward, right? You need to be the one that takes the initiative and do whatever needs to be done to get things moving in the direction that you want them to be. And yes, sometimes you might have to bear the brunt, or you have to just let an argument go, even if you feel you're in the right, for the sake of your own peace of mind, because being right isn't always what's important. What's important is being able to communicate properly and to know that, you know, you're moving towards the outcome that you want, a positive outcome, you know. You don't always have to hear you're right and get the exact, you know, communication that you want, right? That your partner will challenge you sometimes and you will challenge them, but it's about compromise. It's not about who's right and who's wrong, okay? Now, when it comes to your external influences, clarifying the Ace of Swords, that's where we have it a second time. You have the Queen of Pentacles again, so that's your energy, I feel. And you have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So we have the Queen to the King of Swords. So this is a significant connection. I feel like, yeah, you need to express that, you know, that you don't always feel valued in this connection. Even though you're understanding your worth, you feel like at times when this person doesn't listen to what you have to say, which is, you know, what you're asking of them is nothing, you know, it's nothing unreasonable, you know. What you're asking for them is very fair, but they don't make you feel like you're being fair, or it makes you feel like you're being, you know, a dictator, because they're not listening to you, they're not hearing what you're saying, they're not putting the effort in or giving you a hand where you need it. Again, I keep getting this feeling it's something to do with the home, right? That they're not helping out around the house, or they're not putting the work in to save for a home, right? Or they're not spending enough time at home, right? Or enough time visiting you, spending time with you. And that's what you want to change, right? So you just need to have that conversation and be very honest about how you feel and what it is that you expect from them at this time, and what it is that you feel you want to give, that's also going to help if you feel like, you know, if you also get from their side that they feel something is lacking from you, right? So just that equal, balanced give and take is what you're wanting. Now, when it comes to your fears, clarifying the Lover's card here, you have the Nine of Cups and the Knight of Swords. So you're afraid that you are essentially, that this person isn't going to take any actions towards, you know, remedying the situation. Then instead, rather than trying to work on what, you know, taking action and doing the work that is needed so that you feel emotionally secure, that you're feeling like, you know, you're both in this together, and it's going to lead to the Ten of Cups, right? That you have your needs met. You're afraid that they're just going to explore opportunities elsewhere in love and take action towards someone else, right? That's what your fear is. And I feel like that fear is going to be the hardest for you to crack when it comes to your shadow work, because it's deep rooted, okay? I don't know what took place in your past, but this is a deep rooted fear of being abandoned for someone else, right? Even though this person may not have given you any reason to believe that they would do that, it's a long held fear that you've had, right? So it's not easy to shake that up and to break out of that mindset, right? But that's what I feel like is deeply impacting the connection on your side, right? On their side, I feel like it's a lack of initiative and taking action where they ought to, right? In certain aspects. Something to do with the home, possibly. When it comes to your hopes, however, with the Page of Pentacles, you have the Judgment card, so that's Sagittarius energy, and you have the Seven of Pentacles. So you're hoping that, you know, once you express what you need to say to this person about what you feel that, you know, is lacking, what they need to put more effort and energy into, that they're going to realize, you know, that yes, okay, you have done this, and this, but this is what you've been avoiding and you've not been giving to the connection, right? That they'll look over that and realize that for themselves, and then they will come to the same conclusion as you, that yes, I do need to give you that additional support. I do need to be more present. I do need to be more attentive. You know, I do need to give you a hand, right? Whatever it is, that they'll come to the same conclusion as you, and they'll, you know, change it essentially. That's what you're hoping for. And then with regards to the potential outcome, clarifying the devil in reverse, you have the 10 of Cups in reverse, the Ace of Pentacles, which is great, and the Knight of Pentacles, awesome. So you think basically what it's looking like here, what can potentially happen from all this is by having this conversation, the both of you putting the work in, taking it step by step, you have a new opportunity to break out of these certain, you know, toxic patterns that you have in the connection, and give, you know, and get to the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups, right? You're not there yet, but you're on track for that. So all it requires is for you to both continue putting the work into yourselves and into the connection, and you will get there. So that's awesome. So what I'm going to do now, Gemini, is we're going to go into the extended. So what I'm going to look at is how this person feels about you at this time and how they're viewing the connection. We'll look at, you know, how you're feeling about this person in more detail and how you feel about the connection. We'll look at what's likely to play out if they are going to make these changes and how that will affect the connection. And then we'll get some additional advice when it comes to that, okay? So if you want to dig a bit deeper in this and get a real sense of what's happening here and what's likely to happen as a result, you can find the extended in the description box below. The link is there. Otherwise, if this is where we leave the reading, I just want to say thank you so much for checking this out. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and don't forget the notifications bell. And yeah, I mean, ultimately it depends on you guys how this goes, but you have all the ingredients here to have a very beautiful, long-lasting relationship. It's just a matter of, are you both willing to continue putting the work in? So sending you guys lots of love, lots of encouragement. Definitely have this conversation, okay? I feel like that's going to really help turn things around, and I hope you have a great November. So take care, Gemini, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.